Welcome back. Now we're joined this morning by public affairs analyst and publisher of CKN News, Chief Chris Kehinde Nwandu.
Please, you forgot to add the double chief. Double chief. Chris Kehinde Nwandu. Diokpa, it's good to have you, sir.
One of Umokobo in Imo State.
I love it.
Okay.
Proudly repping it.
All right. Let's get into the conversations. I think the big one is definitely the drama with the EFCC and Yahaya Bello. The Tribune this morning says, drama as EFCC, Yahaya Bello engaged in game of wits. Ex-governor honored commission summons, left without being interrogated, says his media aide. The EFCC on its own says he's not in our custody, he remains a wanted man. So I was saying earlier that I'm not sure whose explanation is more annoying, you know, if it's the EFCC or the governor's aide.
Well, I think it's more of the governor's aide. What happened yesterday was more of a drama for me. Because Yahaya Bello has been declared wanted for some months now.
Almost 5 months.
Yes. And when he decided to show up at the EFCC headquarters, quote and unquote, he knew that the chairman of EFCC won't be around. Probably the most monitors his movement. And he went hand in hand with the governor of Kogi State. And just walked up to the gate and want to see chairman and the rest of them. That's not how it is done. If he's going to, in fact, if they weren't quote unquote foolish in their way of that, remember vividly what happened some years back when Ayo Faisho was declared wanted or was invited by EFCC. He went to EFCC with a T-shirt. Here I am. You remember? You go back. You go back and check that. For goodness sake, if Yahaya Bello goes to formally present himself to EFCC, he cannot be detained more than 2 days. We've seen so many people, so many former governors and the rest of them that were invited by the EFCC, and after some time they just took they are walking around the whole place. So my question is, what is all this drama about? For goodness sake. Then later they say, oh, he was asked, they asked us to go. Then later in the night, about 9, they start issuing another statement that that EFCC about invading Kogi State Governor's Lodge at Asokoro in Abuja, and they want to ask.
So is that not then the EFCC in a way to be blamed? Because what was all that drama for? He came to you in the daytime. Okay, the EFCC chairman is not around. Shouldn't there be orders? Can't the anti-graft agency function without the chairman actively being in office? You know, is there no way that they can get orders? Especially because it's not like this is some hush-hush matter. This person was declared wanted, came to your office, you did the investigation, he walked back out. Or no, they didn't even do any interrogation according to the reports by the media aide. He walked away. Then in the night, you're going to see...
you are following the narrative of the media aides of the governor. Have you heard from EFCC?
EFCC has said that he's not in their custody.
That is their... So what I'm saying in essence, for goodness sake, if Yahaya Bello is going to make himself present, he was declared publicly that he's wanted. If he's going to make himself available, then he has his media aides. Why didn't they announce by yesterday that he was going there? So they are far better. This is just drama. What I'm saying in essence is that he knows the right thing to do. He knows the channel through which to do it. All this one that he's just doing and let him present himself to the EFCC. And don't forget that a court of competent jurisdiction has EFCC to declare him wanted. He has cases in court.
Do you believe when the EFCC say that for the past almost 5 months they have no idea about it?
For now, I believe EFCC.
Okay.
For now, I believe EFCC. And let us please, let us not derogate our security agencies and graph agencies and the rest of them and follow certain narrative of politicians. This young man that is new EFCC, with all sense of humility, I can give some slack. He has been able to deliver in certain within the last few months. Some other people will just negate this thing. After Yahaya Bello is so powerful in the APC, you've forgotten what he did before the president came in and all the things he was doing. So this is not just about grandstanding. What I'm saying is that let Yahaya Bello make himself. How come that he has been running from skater for the past 5 months or 6 months instead of doing the needful? So that is, for me, the EFCC is not an execution ground. It's not an execution parade ground. It's not a military ground where they execute. A formal invitation extended to him several times. He didn't show up. He has to go to. He started from Kogi Court until he got to the High Court. Probably I think the Court of Appeal and the rest of them, where he was asked to present himself. So he knows what. If they haven't arrested or whatever this morning, he should just find a way to the EFCC and present himself and Let them interrogate him. And as I said, you can be rest assured that within the next 48 hours, 72 hours, he will allow to go home. He will. So all this drama, they should say what this stuff. What is I'm more concerned now, and which I was talking off camera, is that Nigerians are going to feed. All these Nigerians are dying of hunger. That is what is of more concern to me. People are being attacked on a daily basis. I'm talking of fuel is rising to what? I don't know how you guys have been coming to office.
I'm lucky I use a Toyota.
Yeah. So, I'm telling you.
I buy and the Toyota can manage itself.
Yes, so that is, that's the issue. To even enter an ordinary boat now to get, you know how much it is?
Really expensive.
So very expensive. So those are the issues for me. It's not one governor that is one overfed governor that is being. He should make himself presentable.
But again, if I did mention this earlier, that I feel like this is also once again a very embarrassing. Even if it's not the first time, it's happened so many times, so Nigerians are probably used to it. So it's a very embarrassing moment, in once again the EFCC's long history, and I hope that they're able to do what they need to do, to redeem their image, because this is a huge stain on the EFCC's
Let
image.
me tell you, if such, and that is where at times I blame the government of the day. If somebody like that has been declared wanted, it will take the concerted effort of all security agencies, no longer EFCC now. The office of the NSA should be able to come in. If the DSS, it should be a coordinated thing. This guy is not just, if you know that EFCC is not, because it is not the EFCC that is at stake now, it's Nigeria as a nation. I make us a laughing stock in the Committee of Nations, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So those are the reasons. So I think that you should, everybody that has, that makes it possible for this guy to be able to turn his name, because what we're trading is a precedent. That is in law, that's what we call precedent. If you allow this to go the way it's going, subsequent governors in the next few years, when you invite them, they continue to go about this drama. And the end of it all, why my own is that why is the governor of Kogi State taking over? Because he believes he has immunity.
Well, I mean, whilst I hear you,
yes,
it's concerted efforts on the part of all law enforcement agency. I do think, and it's the narrative that we've seen, that the EFCC does also have a role to play because it was within your grip. And beyond that, we've had the EFCC come on the show to talk about the plans and the investigation, and even assuring Nigerians that this matter will be one that will be seen to the end, especially because the EFCC is an agency.
Have you seen the video of him?
Yes, I did see
the picture. It's the pictures I saw. Yeah. Did you? Because let me tell you, as I said, this is more of drama. He has already put his media team in place. They have already have their statements ready. They've already started driving the narrative. That is not how we go about enforcement.
Let's move away from Yahaya. There are other pressing stories that I think that I'm hoping that we'll have time to take. I want us to look on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. There was a story that Osage had highlighted earlier that I want us to talk about. UI students step up crowdfunding to avoid dropping out, as authorities insist payment portal closes tomorrow. There's UI students, there's Lagos State boarding students whose fees have been increased from 35,000 to 100,000 naira, and their parents had to stage a protest. In fact, school was meant to resume on the 15th. The government sent them a letter on the 14th that school fees, boarding fees has increased from 35,000 to 100,000. In a country that boasts negatively, because it's not a positive boast, of over 18 million out of school, children, and our education sector is really struggling. It's a worry what this would mean and what this looks like.
Yes, it is. Have you also asked yourself, the one that was set up by the government, which one is that one that they are giving out?
Nel Fund.
Nel Fund. So haven't you seen the controversies surrounding that, when the students have been saying that they've not been paid, so many of them have not been paid, they've not received their alert and the rest of them. But coming down to what you say, it is only in this part of the world that we try to make education elitist. It's not the way it's supposed to be. In other parts of the world, they try as much as possible to subsidize education, because that is where your future lies. Every country in the world, including China, India, US, and the rest of stuff. Just to give you a classical example, if you're applying to a university in UK or the United States of America, you will see where they put it. Indigene, $2,000. Foreigners, $14,000 or $30,000. Yeah. What does that tell you? That goes to show you that they have premium for education, and they try as much as possible to subsidize it so that their people can be. But here, you are talking about the public school, 100,000. Have you seen what the private investors are charging? None of the private universities in Nigeria charge not less than 2 million per session. And because of the fact that most Nigerians are finding it difficult, the public institutions are not even working. Every day, ASU is on strike, this one, as the students go into the federal universities or state universities and spend 7 years to read 4-year course. So parents are now devising a means of making sure that their children go to the private university, but those are not. But back to your own, for goodness sake, what stopped the Lagos state government from subsidizing education? 35,000, 100,000. Why? Why? You ask yourself. That means that so many other people, so many children will be out of, because there are so many children, there are so many parents that cannot even afford to pay school fees now. You are talking of the 70,000 naira minimum wage, which is not even being paid. After it has been signed off, tell me, do you know of any ministry, Precedent, NDAs, or even private companies that are paying the 70,000 naira since it was passed till now?
There's none.
We have increased fuel prices to about 300. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, we've increased fuel prices twice. You've forgotten that the day Dangote announced his petroleum, NNPC increased the fuel price. The day they start lifting from Dangote, they increased. Sometimes that in the past, that for a whole 1 year, we don't increase fuel prices. But in the last 2 weeks, we've increased fuel prices by twice. And that itself has a narrative because it has a spiral effect on everything. Economy.
And it's not even the actual price. You know, what they've done now is still an estimate.
That is not the actual price. That is where I'm going to. The Dangote himself, have you told you how much is it? NNP said that we bought from them 898. Yeah. Dangote said no. How much do you sell? They kept me. Oh, we sold to them. It's like me coming to you, my dear sister. I came to buy a jeans trouser from your shop. And I came out and he asked me, how much did I buy? I said, no, I bought it 2,000. I said, no, it's not 2,000. No. Will you leave at that? Won't you tell him that, no, I sold it to him at 1,560 naira. That is your own naira. But when you leave your hanging, then there is a trust deficit within this. And that is what is happening now. Because we don't even, but the most annoying part of me is that NNPC, that has 4 refineries, that has about 150 kilometers laid down pipe, that has over 50 depots across Nigeria, is now running and shining and now becoming a distributor. Oh. Is it not shameful? Yes. They have forgotten the issue of their refinery, and now they take glory and say we are pricing price for Dangote. Is it not shameful that a country that produces crude oil does not even have the capacity to even refine, and nobody is talking about, and then NNPC is blowing, I bought it at, are not ashamed to even be measuring that thing, and we are buying petroleum from, because NNPC is a competitor to Dangote, NNPCL. Don't forget the L, because it's gone from NNPC with the L. That L makes it a limited liability company, and it's a private sector-driven company, just like Dangote.
All right, quickly, Edo State elections, PDP APC in final showdown. Military has presidential mandate to ensure free, fair, credible polls, says CDS. This is on the Nigerian Tribune, top left of the Nigerian Tribune. But of course, you know, the election's in 2 days. The PDP had complained that the resident electoral commissioner is a cousin to Nyesom Wike. The APC complains, you know, that the PDP has people in a hotel room or somewhere, or Governor Obasanjo's house or somewhere, that they are also trying to manipulate the elections. Do you think this is going to be different in any way from previous elections? You know,
off camera, you know, I asked you, I said, how you go be for your state? And I remember the answer you gave. The fact is that the election will come on Saturday, whatever the situation is. All I'm just asking is that umpires should just remain what they are. They should be as neutral as they are supposed to be. The security agencies also should see themselves as security agencies of Nigeria and not one particular political party. All the gladiators in this thing should play by the game. And because when you start hitting the polity this way, then there's going to be, you are creating a kind of anxiety within the system, and they're going to be a voters party. Because if people realize that if they go out to vote, and their lives may not come back with their lives, some of them will just remain at home, as we normally do, start playing football, watching television, watching News Central, and do other things rather than just go out to vote. Yeah. So what the parties should be more interested in now is making sure that they bring down the tension and try to galvanize their supporters together. But it has come to seem that it is going to be a matter of who has the bigger set of arms, guns, ammunition, cutlasses, and the rest of them. That is the impression I'm being given in Edo State, and that in itself is not good enough. And yes, as you rightly mentioned, PDP had come out to say that their supporters have been arrested and the rest of them. The governor come to say it's going to be a do or die. It was the last time I heard do or die was during the Obasanjo's regime. But the governor is come to say who they do or die, who is doing, who is dying. I think we should be very, very careful, because anything that we do, and you know that Edo State is very central within Nigeria and the South.
Yeah.
It is a bridge between the Southwest and the Southeast, sort of. So if anything happens within Edo State, then it's going to other parts of the country and going to feel the heat. So I am just pleading with the gladiators. They finished their last rally was yesterday. I remember that Labour Party had theirs. I saw P2B in Benin. The PDP had their, the APC had their. Those are the three front runners. Not that I think there are about 19 political parties, but these three seems to be the forerunners. And I just once again plead with the federal government, with the state government, the local government, and all the gladiators in Edo State to make sure that this election is free and fair. Well, once it's free and fair, for goodness sake, all of us will see it, and there will be no complaint.
Absolutely. Of course, quick issues in the PDP as well. There seems to be calls for Damagum to step down or some of that sort.
And there are those who are supporting him.
Yeah.
Makinde says we are 100% in support of Damagum, PDP National, NWC, the National Working Committee. They earmark for, this one's another conversation. I don't know that we have the time for that. Earmarking 41 billion naira for Ibadan airport upgrade. Let's not go into that. But
no,
yeah.
let's talk about PDP. PDP is a house divided within itself. And it's just like Chinua Achebe said in his book, Things Fall Apart. When things fall apart, the center definitely cannot hold. And that is what I think. And I think that by now they would have gotten their ass together. What we have for PDP now is an interim arrangement. Okay. I listened to the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State a few days ago. And he made a very critical, and he said that position, based on the arrangement, is supposed to be for the North Central. Because the man that left, was the one that was causing problem during the presidential election, the former national chairman. He's from North Central, and he has not seen out his term. That by their own constitutional arrangement, that whoever is taking over from him is supposed to also be from North Central. So that the current person is not from North Central, that they have had that on. So they are going to have their convention meeting where they intend to. So meaning that Damagum, as he is just holding forth. But Makinde coming to say support, you know where it's coming from. Makinde has always been a very close ally of Nyesom Wike. You remember the four governors or whatever they call themselves?
G5.
The G4 or G3 or whatever they call themselves before the election. So but the PDP should be able to get its ass together.
Yeah.
Because what we need at this point in time is a credible opposition to put the current government on its toes. And if we're not able to do that, then we're as good as this thing. Opposition has been taken to the cleaners. Labour is neither here nor there. Nigerians that come out to protest are now being found, they are being charged for treasonable offenses. Then you ask yourself, who will speak for you and who will speak for us? So the PDP should remove their selfish trait. But one of the papers, I don't know which one, but the one that there's a big worrisome now is that the Rivers State, what is happening in Rivers State? Information coming in is that the Rivers State governor has asked his aides, the local government caretaker committee chairmen, to move to another political party. And they've started picking their palm yesterday, which means that the local government election coming up in the next few weeks, that they're going to contest under another political party. And that in itself is going to change the dynamics of politics in Rivers State. Very, very interesting, but
we'll see.
Good days ahead of us.
All right, thank you very much. CKN, chief, or high chief rather, or double chief, is it?
Double chief.
Double chief.
High chief, double chief. Chris Kehinde Nwandu for stopping by. Thank you very much.
This is how we go. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. I'll give you 3. Although you're not yet a chief. Have a wonderful, my dear sister. Have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you.
All right.